We are going to discuss the Sonnet-Ballad by Gwendolyn Brooks. So the title, the Sonnet-Ballad, although it's very generic, it's actually gives a lot of meaning to the poem. A sonnet is just like a structured poem, and like it kind of usually talks about love. Like if you think about like Shakespeare's sonnets, like he discusses like his love and his like emotions through his sonnets, and then a ballad is like a story, and it's kind of like rhythmic, similar to like a ballad in a song. And although these are like very general terms related to poetry, they do like tie into the story that's the poem, because the poem just describes like a woman's love and like her loss of love, because she's talking about how her lover is taken off to war. And the poem opens with a rhetorical question. It says, "Oh mother, mother, where is happiness?" This kind of sets up like a general tone and like her attitude of like hopelessness because she has lost her lover. And it says like, and she like questions the existence of happiness, so it like shows how like depressed she is.
And also there's this quote that says, "Now I cannot guess what I can use an empty heart cup for." And I kind of noticed that it uses I, so it's personal. It's like a personal experience of her.
Yeah, and this like line, it uses a metaphor. It compares like her heart to an empty cup, and it's saying like her love has been poured out, like similar to like how you would pour out water from a cup, like just showing how like empty and like desperate she is because she has lost her love. The language of the poem is also very informal because she says like, "Oh, like, but I knew that he would leave," or "I knew that he would be untrue," and this kind of relates back to the idea that she's speaking to her mother and she's just kind of like lamenting her feelings. Other literary devices that are used, she personifies death because it like her sadness goes from like speaking about like her lost lover to just speaking about like the inevitability of death, because she like traces it back to he's going to be changed by the war or he's just going to be killed in the war. And so she describes death as like with impudent and strange possessive arms, and like having a beauty like of a sort. And so this kind of like shows how like death can't be denied, similar to how like you can't deny a beautiful woman, and how like her lover wouldn't be able to deny.
And there's also and there's also like more than one shift, because first it's like talking about her sadness and how she's really feeling, and then it goes back to her lover and how he kind of walked out, and then it kind of goes to death, which is, I think that I don't know if it means that he passed away or that the war changed him from who he really was. So I feel like it could be either way.
Yeah, that is like a different interpretation that I was a little like back and forth on, just because like she talks about how he's changed, and so you don't know if she's upset because she's changed by war, or if like she's upset because like he's eventually going to die, whether it's not just like in this war, or just like eventually everyone's going to have to face death.
Yeah. And it also ends with the same rhetorical question as the beginning.
Yeah, it also shows like how her hopelessness continues on.